Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling. My name is BrendenPlayz, and today we are just one more episode of Impact away from the Victory Road pay-per-view. And of course, we will continue our Bound for Glory series, and Victory Road will feature a big match that obviously the winner of that match will receive a bonus amount of points for the Bound for Glory series. So it's going to be a big one in terms of that. And of course, we're going to have Scott Steiner versus Christian for the championship as well, and much, much more. So Victory Road should be a lot of fun, and it's a bit of an interesting one because we obviously are taking a bit of a risk having Steiner and Christian involved in the title match. So it's going to be a very interesting one. We could get a few surprises that are great, or a few surprises that we're not really happy about. But obviously plenty has been happening, and I want to thank all of you who have been watching the episodes in recent times. Some of you got a chance to watch them a little earlier. Hope you enjoyed that. But we have a lot of big episodes coming up soon. Obviously, the Bound for Glory series is now in full swing. A few little updates. We'll just show you guys our popularity at the moment. I think I have failed to mention it in recent times. But so we obviously started at about 54 in most regions, 68 in the southeast, and right now we're 64 in every region and 72 in the southeast. Overseas, we're slowly on the rise. We currently don't have any television in most areas. We do have it in Canada, but for whatever reason, the popularity growth has been very, very slow. But it's still getting there. It is getting there, but it's very, very slow at this point, which is still disappointing. Mexico is very similar. We don't have anything going on in Mexico. Same with the British Isles. Japan, not much either. We did do a show in Japan, of course, but it didn't really do much to boost the popularity for our show in that region. But it's something we want to do invest in. I think a lot of you guys really believe Japan is a big market for us, and I got to agree. We've got a lot of great superstars that we have on our roster that are obviously very popular in Japan, so it is worth investing in. And Europe has been probably one of our better ones. Obviously, we do have a major TV deal in Central Europe, so our growth there has been quite large. And a few suggestions have also come in from you guys saying, hey, why don't you focus on utilizing that European growth? But the thing is that not many guys from Central Europe do have any popularity. You're probably not going to see anyone who's specifically majorly popular just in that specific region. I have really no idea. We can check it, but I really doubt it. It's very rare to see anyone with any real popularity in Europe, specifically Europe. So we can have a quick little look. Yeah, you can see there's really no one. I mean, not many guys. Maybe this guy. He's got a lot of popularity in Central Europe, but also Japan as well. What is that? Morishima. So he's obviously got some good stats in brawling, and barista. So, and also hardcore as well. So he's not bad stats at all. But so not much there. So yeah, we're probably not really worth our time investing in that region. So Japan's probably more the one we want to take a look at more so. Obviously, Explosion is coming up next. Some of the other suggestions as well. I've been reading many comments as I possibly can, trying to reply to them as well. So if you are willing to leave a comment, you might get a reply from me. I really do appreciate all your feedback and your ideas and suggestions, so keep them coming in, and you might have me reply or give it a like, or just, definitely going to read them. You guys are saying, hey, you've got an issue right now, you haven't got a partner for Devon. Obviously, Bubba Ray's out injured, so why don't you get Spike Dudley? And I thought to myself, well, I don't know if Spike's going to be really that good, but then again, it's better than nothing, and it's not a bad little way just to fill a gap for a little bit of time for the next month or so. So we're going to try and bring him in, just give him a 3-month deal, and we'll try and bring him in. His stats are nothing special at all, but at least we could have him compete with Devon. Don't have to put the titles on the line. I don't think you would do that. Obviously, with the, Devon and Bubba Ray, the champs, you wouldn't have the titles on the line, but what you would do is obviously just give Devon a partner so he can go up against America's Most Wanted or the New Age Outlaws or whoever you want to have them take on. So it just feels a little bit of a gap for a short period of time. And look, if he does okay, maybe we could have them as a manager for Devon and Brother Ray. Not that they really need one. Bubba Ray's microphone skills rather are really, really good, but maybe a manager could be an option, but we probably don't need it. But other than that, really not much else to show you guys. The other real suggestion is Nakamura. We need to keep working on him, and I really agree with that. I mean, look at his stats. These chain wrestling, mat wrestling, submissions, psychology, basics, all 80 plus, all really, really good. He's worth that investment. So the popularity from right now is 31 in most regions, 40 in Southeast. He probably needs to get about 45, I think, in most regions before we get tempted to bring him to the main roster. Now, we do have a few guys we can sacrifice for Nakamura. The main one being Rick Steiner. That's mainly what you guys have been telling me. You've got him for another month. Why don't you use that and have him be the one you sacrifice? And I gotta agree. 62 popularity. He's on his last legs. He's struggling. His matches are terrible. It's time for him to go, and it's time for him to put some guys over on his way out. So we've done that a few times with a few guys. For example, Matt Seidel, who got a little bit of a bump up. So it might be nearly wise to have Nakamura beat Rick Steiner really, really convincingly, and maybe even do it on pay-per-view. If we did it on pay-per-view, it's going to give him more of a boost. So we could put the Global Championship on the line and have Nakamura beat him at Victory Road. And that would obviously allow Nakamura to maybe bump up to 40 in most regions. If we're lucky, that's a big jump. It's a big ask, but it's possible. Maybe 45 in the Southeast. And if we can get him to that 45 in the Southeast, maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's good enough just to put him on the main roster and start taking on some lower end guys in Explosion. But that's the plan. Now, we could have him take on someone on Impact or Explosion this week. Maybe we have him take on Rick Steiner twice, beat him once, and then beat him again in the pay-per-view. Maybe that's what we do and get the most we can out of Rick Steiner, because I think Nakamura is the one guy we want to invest in the most. I think he's got the ability to be a huge star for us. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, why don't you just focus on the guys that you've already got right now? And that's a fair point. It is a fair point. Tanahashi, for example, look, he's pretty much there. He wouldn't get much out of Rick Steiner. Maybe Bryan Danielson, yeah, Austin Aries, these types of guys for sure, but they probably can get there eventually by themselves. But Nakamura is so far below, he needs that catch up, he needs that big jump, and I think that's the plan. I think we give him Rick Steiner and let him do that, and let him utilize that. It'll get him to where we want him to be, just a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. So a couple incidents. AJ organized a video game tournament. I can believe that. I think he's a big video game guy. And Homicide helping out Low Key. Stop helping Low Key. He's leaving us. Why are you helping him? But anyways, so just to finish that up, looking at medical, Brother Ray is out for 37 days. So he's gone for a little bit of time. So bringing in Spike will fill that gap for the next month or so. Kevin Nash has one more appearance left. Very tempted to have him maybe lose to a Ron Killings to really put him over big time. Maybe an AJ Styles. One of our main event guys where it won't hurt Nash horribly, so we can still bring him in at another point, but it would just bump their popularity up enough to get them to a point where one of our Bound for Glory series guys can really, benefit from that and move on and get a bit more popularity to boost their performances. So maybe that's the plan. We might utilize that. It's possible we could do that at Victory Road, but I'm going to say most of our Bound for Glory series guys will be busy against each other. So maybe we'd have to do it on Impact now. But we'll go ahead and we'll book the Impact and Explosion show. We'll start things off with Explosion. Okay, so let's check out the results. We've got Tajiri versus Test, and obviously, I don't know if I mentioned, but Tajiri, he has signed a written deal with, I think it's All Japan, so he's actually leaving us. Little disappointed about that. We didn't really get much of an opportunity to do much with him, but he's going, so we're going to probably have him lose it to a few of our guys. We're giving Test a victory just to give him some more momentum. We have Bobby Roode open the show up with a promo against Tanahashi, continuing their rivalry. We had Andy Douglas and Roderick Strong go one-on-one, continuing their feud, and Strong got the victory. Then we had America's Most Wanted cut a very good promo, actually, on Team 3D. Their storyline heat was a little bit low, so I think a promo will hopefully just bump that up a little bit. We then had Low-Key and Matt Sydal. We had Low-Key get a win. Obviously, the plan is to have Kazarian and Low-Key at the pay-per-view, so we'll give Low-Key a win, but also a good match for Sydal just to give him a bit more of an opportunity. And we're not going to try and ruin Low-Key or anything like that. I guess you could probably say, why don't you have Low-Key put over all the X Division guys? Because we want to get Low-Key back. We want to get Low-Key back at some point, whether it's 6 months down the line, which I think is about the minimum time that he might want to come back, or a year's time. We want to get him back. We don't want to get him back as a guy with zero popularity and no value. We want to get him back and bring him back as a potential X Division champion again. So we're going to have him lose, obviously, to Kazarian, but we're not going to have him, job too much. Gal Kim cuts a very good promo, actually 78 on Melina. Her promos are improving. Normally, maybe it's just Melina's popularity helps it a bit more, but that's one of her better ones. In our main event, we had R-Truth and Tanahashi take on Young and Rude, Team Canada. It was Bobby Roode, an 82 rated performance, and R-Truth 75. So we gave Truth and Tanahashi the win. Now you might be thinking, why did you put R-Truth in there in this match? Well, R-Truth obviously is the lowest guy in the Bound for Glory series, so having him lose all the time isn't going to help him. So what we want to do is just give him a win every now and then outside the Bound for Glory series, just to keep that momentum that he's got at a neutral level, or at least not too negative. So we want to keep him winning when he can, and that's a nice little victory for him in a good rated match, and it was a pretty good performance from him. So all those guys in that match were pretty decent, so that's positive. And Eric Young debuted a new spot that showcased his athletic ability, so that will help out his psychology in the future. Not enough attractive women on the show. I guess we only put Gal Kim on there, so we probably should have put one or two more on. So again, we made that mistake. We continue to do that. It's kind of something I probably should have learned by now, but we will book the Impact show rather, and we'll show you what went down. Okay, so let's check the results. We've got our pre-show match, Molly Holly and Rebecca Knox teaming up to take on Sarah Del Rey and Beth Phoenix. We had Beth Phoenix debut, and her gimmick was a rating of average. Let's take a look at the performances. Holly and Knox were good, and Phoenix and Sarah Del Rey 49. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for both of both teams there. That's positive signs. I think all four of these women could end up being really good workers, and I think we would expect that. But you probably wonder, for example, Beth Phoenix just debuting, is she going to be ready anytime soon? Well, I think that probably shows us that maybe she will be. Homicide got a promo on Fallen Angel, 76 rated. Then we kicked the show off with a Fatal 4-Way match, a Bound for Glory series match. We wanted to do a tag team match. We wanted to have Hassan and Brown take on Rhino and Jeff Hardy. But Rhino and Jeff Hardy have very poor chemistry when teaming up, so we changed it to a Fatal 4-Way because we kind of had to. We had Muhammad Hassan win thanks to a distraction by A-Train, who came in and attacked Jeff Hardy, costing him the match, and gave Hassan the win. Obviously, Jeff Hardy's been involved in helping out Lashley, and Lashley's obviously been involved with A-Train and Test. So at Victory Road, most likely going to be Jeff Hardy teaming up with Lashley to take on A-Train and Test. And even though Test is in it, we're going to still count it as a Bound for Glory series match, just because I want to do it. Performances, Muhammad Hassan, 90 rated performance, so that's very good. And Rhino, 78, so that's a better performance from Rhino. So maybe a Fatal 4-Way kind of helped him a little bit there. But 82 rated, good way to kick the show off. We had Jeff Jarrett cut a promo on AJ. We're going to have Jeff Jarrett and AJ Styles one-on-one later on in a Bound for Glory series match. Rick Steiner and Nakamura, we went ahead and did it. We gave Nakamura a victory over Rick Steiner. Nakamura, 69 rated match in a 5-minute match against Rick Steiner. So that's pretty good. That's fine. That's pretty good. So there you go. Positive signs for Nakamura in the future. Gave him a dominating victory over Rick Steiner, so should boost his popularity up a nice amount. Afterwards, we did do Rick Steiner attacking Nakamura. That way we set up for a global championship match at the pay-per-view. So Nakamura will want a bit more revenge on Steiner, and we'll give him 2 victories over Rick Steiner to give him, the best we can out of him. We had Shelley go one-on-one with Tanahashi. Obviously, Tanahashi's been involved with, Kenta and Marufuji, but Tanahashi, you can see, was very poor rate of performance. We did have it as a high spots match. Maybe that's, obviously not his style of match at all. Shelley was good. He carried it. Tanahashi was really bad. So there you go. That's why Tanahashi's nowhere near that X Division. We had A-Train and Test cut a promo on Lashley. Really good. 84. Very, very good. So obviously, like I said, Test not in the Bound for Glory series, but we just want to go ahead and wrap this rivalry up and, gives Test something to do as well. We then had Barbie Blank, aka Kelly Kelly. She was a local, so we brought her in. I guess it kind of makes you wonder, why didn't we sign her? She does have 56 popularity, so we decided, okay, we'll give her a match against Gail Kim. Gail Kim got the victory, just perhaps to boost her popularity a little bit. But yeah, it's something to think about. Maybe bringing her in at some point. Maybe send her down to developmental first and do that. But we tested her out. 39 rated in-ring performance. Isn't great, but it's not terrible. Her skills are pretty bad, but she might be worth thinking about because of her popularity. Scott Steiner cut a promo on Christian. Then we had Steiner and Raven have a one-on-one matchup, and it was just a 13-minute match. Scott Steiner beat Raven just to give Steiner another big win heading in, because he's the only real guy available. Gave him a big win heading in towards Victory Road. And 73 rated, and Raven 62. Was he on the drugs this week? Yes, he was. Afterwards, wow, this is a good segment. 100 rated. Okay, so we had Scott Steiner. He beat Raven, obviously. And after the match, he wanted to send a message to Christian. So he just went backstage and just ran through everyone in his way. He beat up Raven, Shark Boy, Alex Skipper, Shannon Moore, Michael Shane, Tajiri, and Simon Diamond, just to give all those guys an opportunity to be on the card. As we mentioned in previous episodes, one way to get people involved on the card is doing segments like this where they're not rated, so their popularity and everything like that doesn't matter, but it does give them a chance to be on the show and be involved in something good. And Steiner, 100 rated. So it was rated on Menace, and obviously Scott Steiner has very good Menace because he's, big pop, he's, massive guy. So worked out really, really well, and it didn't have any storyline hit because obviously Christian was not involved, but it, obviously makes Scott Steiner look good. It might even be, bump his popularity up. Here's our main event. Now, I didn't hype it up. I thought we had another segment until that, but here it is. 94 rated between AJ and Jeff Jarrett. I expected something pretty good. That was better than what I expected. AJ, 86 rated performance. Jeff Jarrett, 91. Jeff Jarrett got the victory because Jeff Jarrett, we love AJ, but Jeff is just too far above AJ to give him the loss. So Jeff now goes 3 wins without losing. He's undefeated in the Bound for Glory series. 94 rated. That could mean we're going to have a really good show. We did. 91 rated Impact. That's probably one of our better ones, actually. That's really, really good. A great way to kind of get ready for our pay-per-view. Very happy with that. So Jeff Jarrett now undefeated. And we'll take a quick look. So here is where we're at with the Bound for Glory series. So Jeff Jarrett has 29 points, so a big lead already. Obviously 3 wins, including the Battle Royal 15-point victory. Sting has 2 from 3. Hassan 2 from 3. AJ has got 1 win. It was a submission victory. And then Lashley, Jeff Hardy, Abyss, Brown, and A-Train all have 1 win as well. Killings, Joe, and Rhino all have 0 victories and 0 points. So there you go. So everyone in the series has had 3 matches so far. So we have had everyone had 3 at the pay-per-view. Everyone will have another one to make it 4 for the month. And obviously, I think the plan is to have everyone have 10 matches in the series or so. Maybe we'll make that 12. But that's where we're at right now. So there you go. 29 points for Jeff Jarrett. He has a nice little lead. And obviously the top 4 make it to, I can't remember which pay-per-view, but they make it to the pay-per-view and then they battle each other out in the semi-finals. So you want to be in the top 4 at least. So Jeff Jarrett, you know, I wouldn't say he's got top 4 locked in already, but I tell you what, he's, you know, another couple of victories, he could be in the top 4 guaranteed. So he's doing very well. Alright, back to it. So we are going to check out our ratings. So here we go. Jim Ross, he was available to sign, but we went ahead and said no, we won't do that. Eddie Guerrero, he was available to sign. We couldn't do that because he's, you know, wouldn't talk to us, so we missed out on Eddie Guerrero. Very disappointed about that. Here's one that we might consider. Davari, he is available to sign. Now, you guys have been saying to me, Brendan, you've got to bring in Davari to be the mouthpiece for Muhammad Hassan. Now, Muhammad Hassan doesn't need a mouthpiece, but Davari as a manager wouldn't be all that bad. He's currently the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, so he's got 55 popularity. We could also use him in that capacity. He's not a bad wrestler, not amazing, but not bad. Good mic ability, good charisma. So, there you go. He might actually be very handy. Obviously, bringing him in to be Muhammad Hassan's... Well, there you go, Muhammad Hassan. I don't think you should bring in Davari. We don't get along. Apparently, Muhammad Hassan hates Davari, so... Now, would that be a bit of a risk? I think it probably would be. WWE have given him an offer. So, if we brought in Davari, and Muhammad Hassan hates him, it's a simmering tension, so it's not too bad. But, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It might piss Hassan off, but it's not going to be too bad. So, WWE have given him a 2-year deal for 9.6. We'll give him 11.2 and 3 years. May as well. 3 years. But we'll take away that bonus. You're not getting that bonus. 3 years, he's happy with that. So, he's only 22, very, very young, as is Hassan. So, look, bring him in, be the mouthpiece, and have that connection, and it might work out quite well. Let's have a look. Test is clumsy. I'd cut the loose before someone gets seriously hurt. So, Scott Steiner not a fan of test. 3.01 rating for Impact. Now, I haven't been, you know, can't remember exactly our best ratings, but that might be our best Impact rating ever. I'll have to take a look, but that's very, very close. And here are some of the other things. Tajiri, obviously, signed with All Japan. Eddie Guerrero, couldn't get him. Joey Styles, we decided not to get him, so he's gone back to WWE as well. So there's a few little tidbits there. Yeah, we didn't get Jim Ross for the same reason, because he's not a TNA guy. He's a WWE guy. No point, you know, doing that. But we'll check this. So we have a look. Our user stats, highest TV rating, 3.01. There you go. So that was our best ever Impact rating. Our best ever show is still Slammiversary with 92. Geez, we got close though. Best match is Joe and Fallen Angel. So that was in May. So there you go, 98 rated. So maybe I don't know if we'll be able to beat that at Victory Road, but you know, we'll give it a go. And of course, Raven, up to his usual things. So Victory Road 4 days away. We'll have a quick look at the comparison. SmackDown 92 rated. And look at their TV rating, 15.65. So there you go. But they are obviously, well, they're only on 3 different networks, so I can't really use that excuse too much. There you go, but just killing it. We'll advance until Victory Road. We'll have a quick look at what happens in between, and we might have a few different things. And we'll have a bit of we'll have a bit of an analysis of where we're at before Victory Road. I was going to try and do Victory Road in this series, but we might do Victory Road next episode, just so we're not, you know, having a very, very long episode, and just to give it the time that it deserves. We'll check in to see how our popularity is faring just before it. Obviously, Nakamura beating Rick Steiner. There's a few different things that's happened there, and we'll have a quick look at what's going on to see where we're at. And obviously, Scott Steiner as well. He you know, has some really good segments, so it's very possible that his popularity also increased. So have a quick little look. So Stephanie McMahon is now pregnant, so she's gone. Tracy Brooks, that's going to affect us. She's pregnant, so she's expected to leave in 3 months. Well, there you go. There goes one of our knockouts. Tracy Brooks is pregnant. Okay, so she's going to be gone for like a year. You know, she's gone. WWE've altered their terms of Davari. Let's take a look. 4 years. Okay. So we might have to go 5 years. Oh, he prefers their offer. Let's see how much can we offer him. This is most as we can go. So 12.35. Well, I don't want to have to throw the complete checkbook at him or anything like that. Maybe even 7 years. I mean, no, he's still not interested. He's still not interested. I mean, is the bonus going to make him happy? Dixie's not happy with the bonus that we decided to give him. No, well, okay, let's take a look. So they're giving him a 20% bonus per event that he's on. I don't know, man. Do we need him that badly? I mean, Hassan is already doing so good. I don't think we can get Tabari unless we really, pay the price. 20% bonus per event? He's still not interested. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to probably say no. I'm gonna say, you know what, forget it. Because Hassan doesn't even like him. His skills are good, no doubt, but I mean, he just won't sign unless we really, offer him some ridiculous money that he's probably not worth. We missed out on Snitsky. That's a big shame. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Matt Morgan won the global title. Okay. Well, that ruins our plans. Matt Morgan. Ah, yes, the beauty of the alliance. Matt Morgan has won the global championship. So let's, we got to go back out. Explosion 0.28. Matt Morgan is now the global champion. So the beauty of the alliance championship is just on display right there. So he beat Nakamura in a 70 rated match. Not bad at all. But yes, he beat Nakamura. Okay, so there goes our plans. We were planning to have the global championship on the line. Nakamura versus Rick Steiner. No, we can still do the match. That's okay. Matt Morgan, look, Matt Morgan's good. We're happy with Matt Morgan winning, just probably not right now. But for Nakamura, as you can see, he's bumped up to 33 in every region. So going up from 31. Southeast, he went up 1 point as well. So he has bumped up a little bit. Not quite ready, though. But a win on pay-per-view will change that. A win on pay-per-view gives him a little bit extra of a bonus compared to an Impact show. So, that's fine. But yeah, Matt Morgan now is the champ, so, okay. We could actually, it's not a bad thing, because you could bring in Matt Morgan, and you could use him because he's at the point where he is usable because of his popularity being, at that point. Whereas Nakamura, obviously, a little bit too far below. And we really wanted to use the Global Championship, because the Global Championship is obviously a championship that we want to have as our minor title. We've got the TNA World title. We have the X Division Championship, but we need something else for, the Bobby Roodes or the Tanahashis, those guys to win. And that was the plan, the Global Championship. So, we have a contract. It's, here we go, Brother Runt, Spike Dudley. So we can get him, bring him in as a mid-carder. So we can now have him compete and help out and fix a small little issue that we have. And let's take a look. Is he going to be suited to that gimmick? Probably yes, maybe not. But look, the popularity is not great, but it fixes a small little issue that we've got that we can sort out. So we'll advance one more day. We'll see any more news before Victory Road. But yeah, so Davari, I'm kind of a little annoyed that we couldn't get him, but hopefully it won't hurt us too much. Obviously, he's their cruiserweight champion, so it's probably a smart thing on their side to throw him the money. Now Nakamura is no longer the champion, so a few little spanners in the works here today that I don't particularly like, but you just have to kind of accept it. So Tajiri is gone. Cesaro has sustained a fake retirement injury. What the He's gone in 2 months, so is that like a storyline fake injury? I have no idea whatever, okay. Tajiri's gone, so we've missed out on him. Here we go. Just over a year after return to pro wrestling, Brock Lesnar has once again left the business. This time he's rumored to start a much talked about MMA career. If you choose to replicate this, go to editor and change Lesnar's status from left the business to active and alter his contract to run out in 1 day. Okay, so What that basically means, if you want that storyline to play out, if you want the fact that Lesnar goes to MMA to play out, you can do that by, altering it. We are going to just keep him in the game because let's just, we've already kept Eddie Guerrero. Let's just pretend Lesnar doesn't go to MMA just yet. We'll see where he ends up and what his career would have been like. Because that's the fun of it as well. Making these different scenarios, these different situations that didn't happen, but you can see it play out in the game. It doesn't always have to be what happened in real life. You want it to be like that in some circumstances, but not always. Last couple of things before we get going. Scott Steiner, yep, his popularity did improve, I think. 76, 77 is where he's at right now. So with some really good segments from Scott, we've been able to nearly make him a legitimate player on our roster. He's obviously 76, 77, which is really good. Probably starting to think, hey, we probably maybe should have put him in the Bound for Glory series. But luckily enough, we do have him available to take on Christian. And that was the plan all along, to have another legend, have another big name on the side for Christian during the this period of time. So we have Steiner, and he's going to be very, very handy. And I think he and Christian are going to do a really good match. At least I'm hoping so. Fingers crossed. But his performances have been really, really good. His in-ring work is good enough. It's about that 70 mark. That's good enough. He's still good, at the moment, where he can be very, very handy for us. But we've advanced up into the Victory Road pay-per-view, so that will be our next episode for you guys. And hopefully we do have a great show. I don't think it's going to be as good as Slammiversary. It's a big show to try and beat, but you never know. What matches we're going to have, I don't know exactly what the plan right now is for the Bound for Glory series. I think we might do some kind of big multi-man match, maybe a big ladder match. We've obviously got 3 of the guys in the Bound for Glory series, A-Train, Jeff Hardy, and Lashley, and of course Test will be involved in that match. Having that tag match, so 3 of the 12 are already out doing something else, so it gives us 9 guys to play around with. So we'll try and come up with a few different things that will give us the best possible match. Obviously, Fallen Angel and Homicide have probably a rematch there, and Christian and Scott Steiner, and maybe a big tag team match, big multi-man tag match. We might go ahead and do that. We did that at Slammiversary, but I feel like you need to do something like that now with obviously the tag champs being out of action, or maybe obviously we can do America's Most Wanted versus Brother Ray and Brother Run. Brother Devon and Brother Run, even though, I don't know how good that's going to be. But, let's have a see. Is there any chemistry there? No, not really. Brother Run to Brother Devon. Yeah, so there's no previous tag team experience there. So we'll leave that. But that's pretty much all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of Total Extreme Wrestling. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on it. Next up, Victory Road. Don't miss it. And I will see you in the next video.